Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree. I join you here with very blushy cheeks to talk about some luxury makeup and just a couple other high-end products that I actually regret buying, and some drugstore products that are very similar, if not better, than these luxury brands. I'm not trying to say luxury makeup is not worth it. I have some expensive things that I love, but these were items I have found very difficult to work with, and I wanted to share a drugstore alternative in case you were looking at a couple of things that I'm going to mention. I wanted to share some drugstore products that sometimes they're just as good, if not better, than the luxury thing. And what spurred on this video is this palette. Oh my god. This is the Natasha Denona Love palette. I lusted after this palette for so long. I would look at it all the time online, just like, oh my gosh, I want that so bad. There's just something about the packaging. It's just this pink and all these colors. They just looked so beautiful. And I waited and waited. Actually, I bought this as well. Another thing I regret buying. The Cheek Duo packaging, really cute. This cream blush is really pretty, but this highlighter is nonsense. Anyway, the blush is nice, but this, I totally regret buying this. But I haven't been able to like find something I love as much because the blush is actually really nice, but you don't need it. Anyway, this palette is so annoying for me to work with. The formula it's beautiful when you swatch it, and I remember when I swatched this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm throwing away all my shadows and I'm only going to use this brand from now on. But I should have known better because I have the bronze palette as well. Never use it. It's so hard for me to use. It's almost like it's too pigmented and too rich, and it's too much. Like, it's not beginner friendly, which I consider myself a beginner, of course, in makeup, and I don't find this that friendly. I also don't find this palette to be very good for people that don't already know everything about Natasha Denona eyeshadows. And that's one thing that annoys me so much about these brands that pump out so many products, is that you have to know everything about all the formulas. So on the packaging of this palette, they mentioned that it included several different formulas of their eyeshadows, but it didn't say what shadows were what formula or how to use them. So I have no idea. The only ones I know are the matte ones that are obviously matte. Like this purple one here feels like it's cream to powder. And then a couple of these other ones here are just a flaky mess. And the mattes are hard to blend, although they look nice when you finally get it to look nice. I don't like this palette, and I find it so hard to work with, and I was like, no, why did I buy that? If I wanted some beautiful pink eyeshadow, I could have just looked into my collection and pulled out the Rimmel Crimson Edition Magnifies eyeshadow palette. You get all these beautiful pink shades, as well as a nice supporting cast over here to help the pinks look, you know, wearable and nice. All the browns here are beautiful. They're a little bit rosy, so they're not just straight up brown, but they work really well with the rest of the pink in here. This is a palette I really like. I really, really like this one, and I should have just pulled this one out and been like, I got it. I got my pink eyeshadow right here, and I don't need the Natasha Denona one. I could have also pulled out this one from Collab. This is from Sally Beauty. It's not a drugstore brand, but if you have this and you're looking at the Natasha Denona, I thought I would just mention it. This is the Palette Pro eyeshadow in Strike a Rose. Definitely a more pared down collection of shadows here, but you still get, just like in the Natasha Denona, you get a beautiful purple one, you get the gold one, you're getting the pinks, some supporting shades, another really pretty one, and then the Revlon Looks Book palette in the shade Enigma. Another really pared down one. You're not getting as many pinks, but you are getting the purples and the golds, just like in the Love palette, and some nice supporting characters over here. So I should have just shopped my stash and not bought this one, because I regret it. It seriously is sitting on a shelf right there just looking pretty, because it's beautiful. But I don't know, it's not working for me. The next thing, what a letdown this has turned out to be, is the Gucci bronzer. Another thing, I lusted after this. I looked at it all the time. I finally bought it, I got it, and I was like, oh, I cannot believe I own that Gucci bronzer. This is the shade 03, and I really wish I picked a different shade, like a lighter one. But this is what it looks like. It has a strong fragrance. I can smell it already. It's not bad, but it is a scent that I can smell on my face all day. So just a heads up in case you were looking at this, it is highly fragranced. It's beautiful to look at. It's almost too pigmented and it's almost too much bronzer. So I feel like I should have got a lighter shade. That's definitely my fault. There's a swatch of it there. I love the tone in a swatch. It's really like has that little bit of orangeness to it. It has some shimmer to it. But I find it really hard to use because in a swatch, it looks nice, but on a brush, it's too much. Like it's too pigmented, and once you get it on, it's almost impossible to blend it around. I don't know. I don't know if it was just this shade in particular, but this is the one I have, so that's why I'm talking about it. I regret buying this. I don't know. A product I love more and should have just looked in my collection for a bronzer that's beautiful, that has a nice sheen to it, a little bit of shimmer to it. I should have looked in my collection and realized I already have one that I love. The Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. This is it. It's got a beautiful baked texture. It's sheeny without being glittery. It has this beautiful gold veining going through it, so it gives you that nice golden, sun-kissed look. And I should have just used that one. This is not a dupes video, like I said. It's just alternatives and things I like better than these luxury brands or products. This, of course, is a little bit of a lighter tone. It works a lot better for me, but I already said I wish I got a lighter shade in that Gucci one. It's sheen. It's got a nice little bit of luminosity to it, just like the Gucci one. And I do regret buying it. I wish I just used what I had. So there's that. Next up is an eyeshadow single. I bought a couple of these, and they're from Pat McGrath. This is the one I'm going to talk about today, though. This is the one that looked the most beautiful to me. It's called Burnished Honey. And the packaging is cute. I love this cute packaging. So cute. And here's the shade here. Let's swatch it. It's a matte shade, and it's this beautiful, rusty, orange, reddy loveliness. It's so hard to blend. And I remember when I was first using it, I was like, oh, that's just what luxury eyeshadows are. They're hard to blend, but the end result is beautiful. It's worth the trouble. And I was trying to make myself feel like that's how it was supposed to be. But every time I've used it, I'm just like, I don't think I like it that much. And I definitely regret buying it. I should have looked in my collection and realized L'Oreal has a bomb matte eyeshadow formula in their singles. This is the shade acro-matte. This is amazing. Here you go here. If you're looking at those Pat McGrath singles, I don't know if they're still available. I did get mine on clearance. Don't even get them on clearance. Look at your collection already and see what you have. This is just so rich. The Pat McGrath one does feel a little bit dry and thin. This L'Oreal one, it's like one you want to rub between your fingers. So the shades are similar enough where I feel like if you love this burnt orange, red, really rusty color, you're gonna get your fix with the L'Oreal one for $6. And it's amazing, blends great. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Wish I didn't buy the Pat McGrath because I don't need two of these now, and I have one that I like a lot more. I have one more thing I regret buying and with an alternative, and then one I regret buying that I can't find an alternative for, but I want to share with you that I don't like it. Next up is the Thrive Cosmo Powder Multi-Dimensional Strobing Blush in the shade Angelina. So I regret buying this every day of my life. This looked so much lighter online, and Emily Noel is actually the one that made me want to buy one of these. She tried one of these back a little while back and loved it. And it's supposed to be a really glowy blush, and it is glowy, but to me it seems more like a metallic eyeshadow that they put into a pan, and it's really hard to blend. For me, it's so difficult to blend, and once I get it on my face, it sticks right where I put it, and it will not move. I don't know if you can see how it's blending now, but I just don't enjoy the color of this. It's a lot darker than I imagined. I actually was just watching London Makeup Artistry, Lonettes video. She did a Sephora haul, or just a makeup haul in general, and she bought a blush that she thought looked darker online and got it, and it was so light. And I thought this was super light online. I got it, and it's so dark. So, I don't know. Just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, I do regret buying this. It's supposed to be a glowy blush, but to me, it looks metallic and it sticks and it's really weird on the skin. I don't enjoy it at all. And it's darker than I thought it was gonna be. I should have looked in my collection and used the glowy blushes I have. Milani's Baked Blushes. You might not think of these as a glowy blush at first glance, but they have this beautiful luminosity to them that gives us healthy juiciness to your face without looking like you put making it look like you put metallic eyeshadow on your face. Of course, these are not color dupes. It's just a beautiful alternative. I have the shade Petal Primavera here and Luminoso. Obviously not very good swatches, but you know, they're glowy blushes, they're baked, they're beautiful. This one here is the one that's swatched super light here, but it shows up amazingly beautiful mauve on the face. I love. These are two blushes I always rediscover in my collection because I feel like I use them all the time, but in reality I don't. But I feel like I need to pull them out more because they're so glowy. Their luminous without being glittery. They're good. But if you want a truly glowy blush, I gotta call these out again. The Hello Halo blush lighters from Wet n Wild are amazing. You don't need the Thrive blush. It's a good brand. I'm not saying don't buy from Thrive, but you know, that one just didn't work for me. The shade called I Met Someone here is beautiful. The one here called Highlight Bling, beautiful. Depending on your skin tone, these might be highlighters or blushes, but each one has a blush and a highlighter. They're glowy as heck. They're gonna make your skin look like they're wet. But this is the one I think is the closest to the Thrive one. It's the one called Flash Me. And this blush right here, this is the one I do use as a blush. The other ones I tend to use as highlighters. But there is the Wet n Wild one. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And it blends so much nicer. Look at this Thrive one here. It's just kind of like stuck right there. And I just love these Wet n Wild ones. They're so glowy without looking crazy. You can use them lightly, you could use them heavy. They're beautiful. One last thing. Why did I buy this? Why did I buy this? It's the Anastasia Iced Out Highlighter. Why? Why did I buy this? This is what it looks like. Why? Why do I do this to myself? This is one of the worst highlighters I've ever used. I don't like anything about this. I feel like my skin on my lips is really dry and I keep picking at it with my teeth. Sorry, I feel like I was doing it in the video without noticing it, but I just realized I did it. Anyway, this highlighter, it's just so yellow. You know what? Hold on. I just thought of one that I think might be comparable. Can I find it really quickly? Let's see. Oh, there it is. It's such a yellow color, but it also has I'm sitting all low again. It also has this really white powder base to it though. So it looks like, can you see that whiteness? It looks like white powder that you put all over your face that happens to have golden shimmer to it. I don't like this at all. I regret buying it so much. But something that just came to mind, I was actually just gonna say I regret buying this, but I can't find an alternative. This one actually just came to my mind. It's from Makeup Obsession. It's the Mega Honey highlighter in the shade, I think the shade's called Mega Honey. And this is a really beautiful golden highlighter. I got this at Target. And I think I don't know if it's similar. Let me re-swatch the Anastasia one. This is one I really wish I saved the packaging and everything because I do want to return it, but it's too late now. There is the Anastasia one here, and there's the Makeup Obsession one. Can you even see a difference? And I love the Makeup Obsession one. I think it's a really beautiful golden highlighter without having that white powder base that kind of turns gray on your skin. There's Makeup Obsession, there's Anastasia. I don't know. They're very, very similar now that I'm like, hold on. And the Anastasia one is just very yellow gold. I'm sure that works for some skin tones and some people really like it, but for me, it is no bueno. I really like that Makeup Obsession one. Ooh, that's pretty. Really pretty golden highlighter here, Makeup Obsession. And over here, Anastasia. I don't know. It's just not for me. So there we go. Those are some luxury products I really regret purchasing with some drugstore alternatives that I like a lot more and wish I shopped my stash before purchasing that thing. Anyway, let me know what you think of the video. Do you have any luxury makeup you regret buying? I would love to know some luxury makeup you regret buying. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.